Hello, Internet, and welcome to The Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, our bi-weekly Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. I am Sean, the game master for this wonderful adventure that we are on. I'm also running stream stuff today, so bear with me if I get a bit spacey. We unfortunately, Savannah is not going to be joining us today, still under the weather, kind of the ups and downs of what is between winter and summer in Florida based on how the weather's been. A couple of things before we get started. Coming up this week on our channel, you can check out our schedule below, our faces, if you're watching us on Twitch. We have this Wednesday will be the continuation of Tidefall at our 5th edition D&D campaign at 8 o'clock or 8:30 Eastern time. And then coming up on Saturday be the continuation of Saturday Nights. Our Thunderball is the tagline for that. Our D&D 5th edition campaign where a bunch of sports people doing sports things. It's been a lot of fun. And next Sunday will be the continuation of Slaying 101. Slaying 101, our Monster of the Week campaign. We had kind of a Valentine's Day special 2 weeks ago, or last Sunday, which you should definitely check out. It was weird. And we'll be jumping back into everything, hopefully, with our normal schedule this Sunday. One schedule change for this week that I almost forgot about is this Thursday. We are going to be doing sort of an off week for All Myths Are True, our Tales from the Loop game. We missed our last session, and we're having some scheduling changes in a couple weeks, so we're going to do that this week instead of its normal schedule. So keep an eye out for that. Join us on Discord, Twitter, all that for updates. I'm going to let these people introduce themselves. So, roll call. LV, you go first.
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters. I am going to be playing Zareen or Zari today.
Awesome. And anything going on this week or...
Lots going on this week. I have my normal Monday, Tuesday games on Indoor Adventures. Wednesday, I'm going to be on. We started our game last week for Nerd Immersion's channel, which was big success. Lots of people seem to stop by it and enjoy it. So that'll be Wednesday at 8:30 on Nerd Immersion. Are we playing this week, Barry? On Friday? No, not this week, but then Slaying 101, so that'll be fun.
Awesome. Barry, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Dermot Barry. I am playing Xandar and his little dragonflame crow. I apparently walk into traps and alert harpies to our existence. I think we're on this Thursday. Yay, nay.
Yes.
Yay, we're on this Thursday. We're a makeup session / changing next week's schedule for All Myths Are True, where I play Sean's greatest older cousin.
Yeah.
Of half hour. And then Thunderbolts that day where I play a pyromaniac bird. And then, yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I am playing Simon, the cleric of this group. And I'm mostly here on GGK. You can find me in most of our streamed games, as well as a bunch of video games, which we did a few streams of those the past few days. So check those out on our VOD, or if you're watching this way in the future, check it out on our YouTube, because they all go up there.
Yeah. And RJ.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ on the interwebs, but today I'll be playing Samick, the barbarian, dragon-aspected barbarian. I said that right?
Yeah.
Half-orc. He's half-orc. Anyway, You can catch myself and LB Hackemup over at the Indoor Adventures channel on Mondays and Tuesdays. And also, I'll be streaming a lot more this upcoming week, so come join me for some Dauntless and some Destiny.
Nice. All right. I think that's gonna take us into our game. Don't have anything else to stall with, so let us jump back into the drama and change the music up a bit. Last time on the Black Kestrel, your crew of explorers and treasure seekers had begun their investigation in this Port Predatus, this den of smugglers and pirates and all sorts of ne'er-do-wells that find themselves making a living on the Vathan coast. You had just come out of a meeting with the criminal organization that lords over this port, the Spiders, and had spoken specifically with their leader, a drow named Istus. You had been pointed in her direction, made contact with Istus under the direction of your captain, Captain Drake, who had, not Captain Drake, Captain Leon, who had told you that this person, Istus, would have some information that could point you in the direction of the Black Kestrel, the fated final ship of the infamous Captain Drake, its whereabouts, and the whereabouts of the gem which you seek. You agreed to investigate or complete a favor, a task for Istus, finding a group of bugbears that call this port home, that had been infringing on the turf of the Spiders. You quickly located the den of these bugbears, where they seemed to hole up during the day, and decided to sort of stake out the joint, finding yourselves in a kind of ramshackle part of the town. You crashed in some of the abandoned homes and began your stakeout. As night began to fall, two bugbears wound their way along the cliffside and began to conduct some sort of business in the town. You attempted to ambush them, or attempted to follow them. They discovered you. You then decided to turn the tables on them and ambush them. A rather harrowing fight broke out. Our barbarian friend Samek came very close to his final breaths, and you were able to defeat these bugbears quite brutally. You then set your sights on infiltrating this cave. Anais, your rogue, decided to scout on ahead, made her way into the cave, past a group of unwary bugbears camped inside, and further in, where unfortunately she activated a trap. Some of the bugbears seemed suspicious and slightly alerted to her presence. However, before they were able to investigate further, Xander alerted to the potential danger to his crewmate through his bird/dragon crow when charging into the cave, falling into a pit trap. And as all this commotion began to break out, the bugbears began to storm at you. A song mysteriously began to resonate from within the caverns, and most of you, were captivated by this song. Everyone except Zari and Simon entranced and began to walk further into the cave to the origin of this music. And as Zari and Simon creeped along behind and watched what was about to transpire, The rest of you find yourself captivated by the song and standing in a grotesque chamber littered with bones and the remnants of many creatures. Standing before a pedestal, and perched upon that pedestal is a harpy, as you have, as it has been identified by your crewmates. A humanoid-looking creature with the head of a woman, long, kind of scraggly brown hair, matted feathers protruding into two grayish-brown wings, tucked in front of her, two taloned claws clutching into the rock face. She steps forward and kind of leans down with a smile across her jagged teeth as the song ends. And she looks out over all of you standing before her, which include three bugbears, Xander, Samek, and Anais, and says, "Well, well, well. What do we have here?"
Can we reply, or are we just...
Yes, you can reply. You looking up at this creature in front of you. This, as the song ends, the effects of the song remain, and you find yourself sort of enraptured by this beautiful winged angel perched before you.
Oh, yeah, Crow's also enthralled.
Oh, yeah.
Crow's probably on my shoulder right now.
Yeah. You're not compelled to speak. I'm not going to say you're not necessarily charmed in that you are see her as like an ally, but you don't have any desire to attack her or harm her in any way.
But we can lie?
You're not compelled to tell the truth.
Oh.
I think Samek's just like angry, glaring at the bugbears, being really silent.
It's dangerous out there. Your floor just falls apart.
How do you find yourself so close to my home and my friends? They seemed quite upset by your presence.
They haven't even tried talking to us, so that's their fault for being upset.
She looks over at the bugbears with a sort of skeptical glance. I'm going to have you make was it a bluff?
That was the truth. They haven't tried talking to us.
That is true. Okay. I'll say you don't necessarily have to make a bluff check. You could do
Oh,
a
what's that? A stealth check?
No.
Amazing.
I would just say you could do a what is it? Diplomacy?
Tanning law?
No.
Damn it.
No.
I never get to tanning law. That's my one goal.
I would give it either what is it? Bluff or diplomacy or something like that.
Society?
Deception or diplomacy.
Well, they're both 0 bonus, so...
So it doesn't matter.
6.
6.
For telling the truth.
Yeah. It's not. You're telling the truth, and I will give that to you there. It's whether your argument is persuasive enough for her to turn against her servants. And she looks at them and looks back at you and looks at the weapons that you are carrying and says, "No. It's hard for me to believe that somebody as heavily armed as you came all this way with no ill intent towards my kin."
I didn't even know you were here. There's bugs outside.
That's a bluff
I'm-
check. That's a deception.
I didn't know she was here.
You know, you guys knew she was here. I don't think Xander is that clueless to what was going on.
Not gonna lie, Xander's probably thinking, where the fuck is my sister?
Yeah.
Samek, if you want to shut me up anytime, just...
I mean, I only know one.
Oh, that's a 2.
She looks
The
at...
bugs or the not knowing about you? That...
She kind of looks down towards you, those bird-like eyes, really sort of piercing in their direct contact with yours. And she says, well, accidentally stumbling upon this place or not, I'm afraid that we won't be able to let you leave at this point. This is a tragic misunderstanding, but I can't have you reporting our location back to anyone who bears us ill will. So, she looks to the bugbears.
What if we deal with who bears you ill will?
Sorry.
What if we deal with who bears you ill will?
I'm afraid that there isn't much that the three of you, as capable as you might seem for having succumbed to this simplistic trap, could do much in this situation. So
There's only 3 of your bugbears. Sorry, Samek, I'm throwing you under the bus here. He has the bastard sword of one of your other ones. Cleaved him in half.
you are still carrying the bastard sword, I'm assuming, Samek.
I have 2 of them now, so yeah.
Yeah.
She looks over it and looks back at you. Are Zari and Simon are doing anything, or are they still...
Please.
What do you think we should do, Simon? Should we wait it out and see, or...
I think that is best for now. I imagine Harpy there was about to tell bugbears to attack our friends, in which case I think, we go in, try and save their sorry asses, but I do not like our chances of showing ourselves now and altering the course of the conversation.
Right. Do you have any intentions of what we ought to do with this creature in general?
It does not seem like she is willing to abandon her nest, her hold on this place. So if we are to uphold our deal with Eastus, I think we must eliminate her.
And how are we to deal with the bugbears?
That is good question.
What do bugbears follow? Do they... If they saw someone more powerful than this Hoppy, would they follow that?
Do I know if they might? Oh, voice in the sky?
Who is it that rolled super well on the Harvey? Is it that?
Me. Me. That's where I found Crow.
Yeah.
This is about bugbears.
Oh, this is about bugbears. That's right. Okay. Then, what's a good check for this?
I mean, I do have piracy lore, if that might affect things. Because
Sure.
I guess we are wondering about bugbears, but they are also kind of a criminal group.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. This isn't like a group of animals or something. Like these are sapient creatures. So.
Well, that's only a 10.
10. You. I don't think you have much experience with bugbears to be completely sure, but based on the context of the situation, you're unsure if their loyalty would simply shift if somebody stronger came. It seems like their loyalty probably is something more to do with the harpy's effects.
Yeah. So I do not think we can just go in and prove ourselves to be the badasses that we are, but they may take offense if they find out they have been magically influenced, and I could possibly interrupt that temporarily, but then we may be fighting a two-fronted battle against the harpy and the bugbears.
Right. Well, let's see how this tide turns, as they say.
Yes, if we see them drawing weapons on our friends, we'll try to disrupt her magical effect and then see where it goes from there.
Well, don't attack just yet. If things start happening, I would like a shot at something.
Sure.
So,
Can they hear this conversation in the room?
can
As in, do they know Xander's the one doing the diplomacy?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, they can hear from the vantage point that you guys have in the hallway. You can hear what's happening, and you can hear Xander speaking. So they have some faith in you. Xander, your last comment was that you might be able to help with the people who bear them bears this group ill will. The harpy leans forward and she says, "Now, why would you make such an offer?"
Two reasons. One, they looked at me funny, and two, it's probably the only thing I can offer that gets me out of the mystery meat room alive.
You say they looked at you, which implies that you know.
We are talking about the drow, right? Are they who? Or is that another group which don't like you?
The spiders. So they're the ones that sent you here.
They suggested.
No need to be coy. You are not the first that they have sent, and I doubt you would be the last.
We could be, though. Think about that.
You would
Cleaved in half. Oh, point at Salmon.
I assume they offered you some amount of payment for this service. You would so easily forsake that.
I actually wasn't in there for the agreement. I was standing outside. But
Who was partial to this agreement, privy to this agreement?
Starts to cold sweat.
I actually don't know. I think it was like some people which we left back in town.
So there are more
People
of
that
you.
aren't in this room. Yeah, of course. We only send those that need to come to deal with particular situations. If we could handle these spiders easily, it could be done by the end of tomorrow. They trust us. What's not to trust? Look at my face.
I'm gonna have.
That is complete honesty.
It is honesty. I was debating whether I was going to go ahead and have you make another check or let this develop a bit more. Sorry. Yes.
Zari's gonna send a message to her brother at some point.
Okay.
Let me just make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, there's no restriction on words. She's just going to say, "You're doing well, brother. Find out why she is here and what she is doing with the bugbears."
I can't respond, or else you'll just see me talking,
Correct.
Yes.
and I need to look at you. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm dealing with this. God.
You do get this message. Whether or not you want to respond that way is up to you.
Santa's like, I've got this.
That'd be
I
the
want you to
funniest
tell
shit,
me
though.
what to do.
So yes, what do you say after receiving this message, Xander?
I'm waiting for her reply because I'm just bullshitted my way into a potential genocide deal against another group.
How many of you are there?
Enough.
More than 3, less than 30.
I'm not sure if you're giving me such a wide range because you're being coy or because you can't count, but I will...
It's the second one. I just picked a big number.
I will say I'm growing tired of these assassination attempts by the spiders, and I am growing tired of their existence. They threaten to disrupt a very tenuous balance in this region. One that threatens my clutch, and I would prefer to not see that come to pass, so I am tempted to take your offer.
Well, if we took out 2 of you guys, you've only got 3 left. It's the least we could do for making you in such a weakened state.
I can assure you that there are other members of my family that are not here currently.
That's good to know. When are they back?
Should be any minute now.
I just don't want them killing us when we're walking away. That's all of this. Is there a way to show that we're part of the crew? Is it this feather?
I would like to meet any others that you are purporting to engage in this deal with. I doubt that, as capable as you sound, you are endowed with
I
the
am the leader.
authority needed to make this decision.
I am.
Is it one of these
one
two?
in- I'm
Looking-
going to look at Anna Eves and be like, no. Like, look, there's drool coming out of her mouth.
I think she just glares over at you.
This one's the muscle, if you can't tell. Like, you've got 2 bastard swords. Can you even wield 2 at the same time? I don't know. And why else would they send me if I wasn't the face?
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I make a society check?
Can
I bust out some noble...
I don't
Society
really.
booty?
I. If you want to do something right now to sort of push that forward, I think right, as it stands right now, I don't think there's anything specifically related to your societal skills that helped you, or that you've really employed here.
What can we do? Society understands people's system, makes civilization run. You can use knowledge to navigate the complex physical, social, and economic workings of settlements. I'll just stamp my foot and claim that I'm Xander Valander, and you will respect me. Just a little noble tantrum.
Okay.
See if I can belittle them enough that they believe.
Here's what I'm gonna do. You can make a society check. I am going to raise the DC after that, though.
I don't care. +5 is better than a 0.
That's true.
20.
Okay.
Does that succeed?
You're gonna find out.
I just thought, what would my sister do? And she would.
And that's what you came up with.
I've seen her do it to people. Admittedly, it was in our town, but
She says, "Very well. We can make this arrangement. You're free to leave and return with the remainder of your group as soon as possible so that we can come up with a appropriate strategy for exterminating the spider infestation in this port. However, in the meantime, I am going to keep one of you here as collateral."
is it Samick?
This one, and she gestures towards Anais. She can stay. The other two of you may leave.
Okay. Question to the voice in the sky: are we still enthralled when we leave?
You are, I think as she says that, you find that effect sort of fading. You're no longer enthralled by her as she tells you that you may leave.
Oh, so we see what she really looks like.
You've been seeing what she really looks like all along.
Oh.
I mean, she's beautiful. And I mean, you're less enthralled by her. You can see like you draw more attention to like the sharpened teeth and the razor-like talons and the blood caked along the stone. So yeah, that becomes a little more apparent to you.
Okay.
She wasn't like glamored in it, but you just weren't really paying attention to the details.
Nice meeting you. We will be back maybe in the morning.
As quickly as you can, and
Okay, we will go out, we will find our people, and I'll hold up the feather and be like, "This is a safety sign. Like, you said people are coming back."
I will advise them not to kill you on sight."
Attempt to kill me. And I'm going to casually walk out before she changes her mind.
Yeah, which she's very close to. Sevectu also leave with
He looks over to Anais and over to the harpy. He begins to leave, but as he's about to, he just turns over his shoulder to the harpy and goes, "If you harm so much as a single hair on her head, I will smash you and your clutch into nothing but ash."
Funny jokes. Come on, Sammy. Come
Can I
on.
make an intimidation check?
Yeah, I'd give you an intimidation check there.
Are you legendary enough that you can
9.
stare?
9. She lets out a big grin with those the jagged teeth, and she says, "No harm shall come to her as long as you don't go scurrying off back to the spider's cave to report to them what deal we have broached here. I have my own eyes within the city, and I can confirm that her flesh will be removed from her bones long before you make it back from such a meeting with the spiders."
Silently walks away.
And as you do, you hear that soft melody, sort of echoing, much quieter than it was before behind you. And you look to see Annie sort of sitting down on the stone in front of this pedestal, placing her hands upon her knees.
Don't worry, Sammy. We can win. Do. And I'm going to start skipping because I did diplomacy stuff.
Okay, you run into Zari and Simon in the hallway as you turn to leave.
So we're down to 4 members, 5 counting Crow.
Walk down the hallway
Counting
a little
Crow.
bit. Walk down the hallway a little bit and then wait.
are you telling them to go past and you're gonna wait here, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I think Simon is gonna stick with you, but kind of just like,
Mhm.
almost looking at Zan like, yes, go ahead, do what your sister said.
Samek walks to the end of the hallway out of eyesight of the harpy and bugbears and just draws both bastard swords.
Oh, you can wield them both at once. That's amazing. Are we just going to charge back in there, or?
Simon, I've got an idea. I'm not certain how well it's going to work, but it's worth a shot.
Care to fill me in a little bit more, or would you like me to wing it with you?
Well, I think that perhaps turning the bugbears is one of the best options that we have. So, do you have the message spell?
I do, yes.
I'm wondering if we can whisper in their ear a little bit.
I think we can give it a shot, certainly.
Okay. I'm gonna peek my head around the corner and target one of the bugbears and just say in a wispy voice, not necessarily like more of like a corporeal where's that coming from voice. Just strange how such a mighty creature could fall to such a difference being as the harpy. I thought you would be better than that.
Okay. Is there so you are using your message to sort of surreptitiously do like a, I don't know what
voice
check.
in the back of the
yeah,
head.
I'm trying to decide if that's like I'm trying to decide what skill. Is there a skill
Sure.
you're angling for to use for this check? If not, I guess sort of diplomacy or deception works.
Probably deception, because I'm trying to like make it so it's not like someone talking next to him, like it's a otherworldly being.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get deception. Damn.
Natural 20.
Damn. That's really good. So that's like that's a
28.
that'll be a critical success. So you whisper into one of their ears, and this bugbear sort of, you see their sort of perk up, and their ear sort of twitches for a moment, and you do see them like look over their shoulder and look around as they're searching for the voice. I think because of the nature of the deception, I don't think they reply.
No,
Because they're not aware of the spell.
right.
But they I think they do have to like see you or something like that. So you get that, and they sort of look around. You just see their posture kind of shift a bit. Their shoulders kind of hunch up. When they shake their head. You do catch a bit of conversation as you are waiting. You do that spell, and you just hear the harpy says, "Tell your sisters to keep an eye on them. If this turns out to be another one of Vistus's tricks, then I would like to hit them where it hurts in retaliation."
Cool. I'll send another message. Okay. She is lesser. You are a great being. You've been cast as servants, slaves to her.
All right. There isn't. So, how long are you going to stay in the cave after sending that message? Or are you going to send any additional messages?
I'll probably send one more.
Okay, one more. So she kind of like, again, that same reaction. I don't think they react as much. I think they're just kind of like hunched down. You see their ears kind of twitching as you send the message, just sort of looking down at their at the blade in their hands.
And then she'll say, the bugbears are all female.
Yes.
You and your sisters do not belong as servants. You should rise and take what is rightfully yours.
Okay. I think you see that bugbear after the harpy gives her order, you see her kind of the bugbear shake her head, and she turns sort of more aggressively and sort of grabs one of the other ones, and the two of them go walking down a passageway together.
Cool. Then we'll sneak back.
As she's doing that, can I think if I maybe know something about bugbear religion? If they have a deity that they worship in particular, maybe?
Sure. Religion check.
17.
17 for bugbear religion. So from your knowledge of them, because bugbears sort of fall under the same line as like goblins and goblinoid creatures, they have their own relatively sort of simplistic sort of theology. A lot of it for goblins being smaller creatures and more prone to sort of go to doing the thing that you guys were talking about earlier, kind of implying earlier of pledging themselves to the most powerful creature around. Bugbears don't do that as much as goblins do. They don't tend to worship a dragon or something that sweeps in and proves itself to be the strongest. I doubt. I think you would know based on that there isn't really like a cohesive religion to them. Is that there may be some like more simple like ideologies or theologies that they follow, and some bugbear deities, but I don't think bugbears as being an especially religious group. They tend to be more like mercenaries. They do what they do for money and for their own self-gain.
Okay, so I couldn't call on some deity and be like, hey, I'm your god, I'm disappointed in you for obeying this harpy.
You probably could. I don't have any names off the top of my head for bugbear god, but you're not sure if that would provide any additional effect, because they don't tend to be as superstitious as other creatures.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I will just head on back down the hallway with Zari for now.
Okay. Awesome. So the two of you creep down the hallway, meet up with your group as they are heading out of the
I think
cave together.
Samik and I may have spent the time working out who we're going to kill first.
Okay.
He's ready to fight. He's got 2 swords drawn. It's really Xander trying to bond with Samik and yeah, we kill stuff.
As we walk back up, I think you did a good job, brother, but I think that perhaps playing to people's egos, or I think what we might do, and what I've already started, is to take away her slaves. Why did you... It's fine.
Why did I what?
Why did you decide to go down the path you did as far as negotiations?
I don't know.
I mean, it was certainly effective in getting you out of there alive, but I do not think it is something we can follow through with. We need
Oh,
the
I never
spiders.
planned on following through. We just killed them both.
Yes, I don't think it's going to be as simple as you think.
Well, I found the rest of our party. We can go back in there.
Yes, no, I don't think right now. Perhaps we should. Why don't...
We could just go back in there.
why? And accomplish what, brother?
Become a party of 6 again, and not have someone left in there with the crazy long tooth, blood encrusted mystery meat room creating bird.
Anais can take care of herself. We need to regroup and form a plan.
She said there were more coming back.
Yes.
Perhaps we could sow deceit in those ranks as well.
They just want to kill everything that's in that room. Remember, we have a friend in that room.
Well, I think that once she is unenthralled, won't she slip away?
I don't know.
Imagine
How
she
mermaids know what people are gonna do.
could-
Sorry?
You are noble, aren't you supposed to understand the people?
Trying to look like the kind of person who understands people.
We're not those kinds of nobles.
Pretty sudden, I just stamped my foot in front of a harpy, which could have killed me like that.
So, question remains. Is the bugbears went off to do their own thing? Harpy is there by herself with Anais. If we plan to eliminate Harpy, this is probably our best moment to strike. I have idea for if the bugbears return to build off of what you did to sway them against the Harpy, but this may be our best opportunity to eliminate
Simon
her.
has the right idea.
Samek?
I don't like it. If we get caught from behind by the other bugbears who aren't enthralled by you and your ideas of revolution, it'll turn into a really bloody fight.
That was my thought as well. Perhaps if we hide outside, or I hide outside, and I sow a little more.
If we, I guess the best analogy is let those seeds take them, and then we come back with an army versus a harpy.
But if your seeds of doubt don't work, and they have reinforcements arrive, we're gonna have to take out the spiders.
I don't think their business is going to stop going if a few hours pass. There'll be bugbears going in and out of this cave. All we have to do is keep an eye out on them.
Right. Hiding in the bushes it is, then.
Beats hiding in a sewer.
When were we in a sewer? Were we?
That's a me thing.
We go out. Are there any bugbears in the front?
So the ones that were guarding were pulled back. So I don't think currently the entrance is unguarded. They have not returned yet due to your meddling.
Meddling. I would like to find a good spot to hide along the path that goes back up, not necessarily because wasn't there like a hill over the cave?
So the cave is actually set into the cliffside. So there are some like jagged kind of outcroppings along the cliffs that you could like scale up to, but not necessarily like a hill. The next ledge to the like next tier of the city is probably about 100 feet up.
Yeah. So I'll find a nice spot on the path up to the cave that looks to be a good hiding spot. Okay.
I think without too much difficulty, maybe because there's like a bend in the this path, and just around the bend, I think there is a slight where the cave or where there's a slight outcropping that you could easily sort of scale up to, and it would give you enough cover from anyone passing underneath to sow your descent.
Okay. Shall we all hide, or I think less is more? I would like someone to stay with me, so I'm not alone.
Would she need to climb up to that outcropping?
She will. And it's probably big enough to hide maybe two of you. Yeah.
Samek starts climbing.
Wait. Come back.
Hmm.
Zari starts climbing on his back.
I was just gonna lower a rope, to be honest.
Oh. Okay. Keep an eye out, you two, on the path. I keep an eyesight of this so I can send a message, or you can send a message to me, and we'll see how this plays out. Because as much as I love bloodshed, or I don't care at all either way, yeah, I'd rather not put forth that much effort.
We will go find somewhere back in the houses to hide. Not one of the ones we were previously in.
Good idea.
Okay. So Xander and Simon head back to all the way down the path to where you killed the bugbears before and find a nearby house to occupy. The other two, Samek and Zari, you hide out on this rock face. So I'm going to first ask Xander and Simon anything you guys are doing while you are waiting for this plan to be carried out.
Just quickly before that, this is more stepping back. What is our actual plan right now?
So
Wait,
right now, we have there were some that were out in the town or not in the cave, and we're waiting for them to come back so that we're not boxed in.
Yep.
And when they come back, I'll sow deceit into their minds, hopefully, and then we'll all go back in together, as was discussed.
Okay.
Cool.
How long are you waiting in case nobody comes back?
An hour.
Yeah, and
All
I
right.
think we're trying to find places to hide where Zari and Simon can message each other.
Yep.
For the next hour, Xander's just counting each second to make sure we don't miss the hour.
Okay. I guess I should make sure. Can Xander count that high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
He can count up to 30. He can count like...
True. He can
He's
just
like, I can
count to
30.
30.
I've counted 31.
1, 2, 3, 30. 1, 2, 3, 30. That's an hour, right? Let's
count
go.
to 30 120 times, and you're good.
He just uses all of his fingers and toes.
Okay, so you're doing that, Simon. Just you're waiting as well, or anything you want to prepare.
Yeah, probably thinking, because someone in the chat pointed out there is a potential deity, Rovagug,
Sure.
who is the rough beast, the god of destruction, disaster, and wrath. So that might be a candidate for the bugbears.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. So that we'll go with that as their deity. Whether or not these bugbears are especially devout, it remains to be seen.
But yeah, I think as Xander is probably muttering to himself, counting, Simon is also muttering to himself and trying to work on this really gruff voice. You know, like you think of for like metal growls, and it's like he is preparing for his Rovagug voice to also message any bugbears that come by.
You watch The Dark Knight Rises and or The Dark Knight and work on your Batman voice. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, great. And Xander does his best to count. I won't make you make a check for that.
He can count, okay? And he's making sure his arrows are all good.
Sounds good.
And Crow's going to be keeping watch because he's preoccupied.
Okay.
Counting.
And then Zari and Samek, the two of you just silently kind of preparing, waiting for...
Actually, before we had gone up there, would have been strange to leave some torchlight by the entrance of the cave, because I know Zari does not have dark vision.
No, so yeah, you could do that. I mean, there aren't any like. There was the light inside the cave from the the campfire that the bugbears are using, but you do know that they don't have dark vision, so they did require some sort of light source. So putting a torch there or something, I don't think you get the impression that would be too suspicious. Actually, there's probably some burn marks or something along the cliff face, maybe where they had some fire lit there before.
Yeah. Samek just puts both of the bast swords in his lap, sits crisscross applesauce, and waits.
Okay.
I think Zari, after a while, like, depending on how long it takes, is kind of slumped a little bit, like, audibly sighing every once in a while, like this is boring to her.
After about 30 minutes pass, Simon and Xander, you do hear something gruff mutterings, this goblin language, kind of coming from down the street, along with this flickering of torchlight. And from your hidey hole in this building, you can peek out through the shutters, and you can see, let's say, 3 bugbears passing by. One bearing a torch, the other 2 following behind. One of them has a bag strewn over their shoulder. They seem to be carrying something large and sort of oddly shaped inside of it.
Is the bag moving?
No.
Dripping blood?
No.
Okay, I'm good.
I will message Zari and just be like, get the ideas that some are returning.
Roger that.
Over and out. You get Simon's message, and you look and you see the firelight coming from around the bend as 3 bugbears are making their way along this cliffside path. And they get closer and closer as they're getting within range, and I think they're within your casting range for any sort of spell you want to use.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna again cast message behind one of the ones that's in the back.
Okay.
And she'll say, "It is so sad to see such a mighty creature fall into such a beast as the harpy. You are stronger than she is. Why do you follow her?"
So you're casting about. Is this something where only one of them can hear it, or is it like?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I just want to make sure. So that one sort of stops and turns around. Go ahead and we'll just do another deception check, same as before, and see how successful that is. God,
Oh my God.
damn.
If Zara's good at one thing, it's fucking lying.
Yeah. You want to tell the chat what the
It was another natural 20, so 28.
same exact roll for the same exact thing? Oh God. All right. Well, I think that one stops, and the other 2 like keep walking, and then the one in the front turns around too. As they hear that one, sort of just the I think the rocks go skidding to a stop, and wheels around, begins to like pull a weapon. And the one in the front turns around and kind of pads back and waves the torch out in front with the light. It's sort of casting long shadows along the cliffs. You can see a small swarm of the Kavard that are clinging to the side of the cliff go fluttering away. They look out for a second, stop, and looks to the other one, and looks back, and they kind of have this like guttural conversation to each other. Do you send any more messages?
Yeah, I'll send one to I'm wondering if it'd be better to keep it to the same one. Yeah, I'll keep it to the same one. Are these female as well?
Yes.
Okay. Such strength you show in everything, and yet your mind is being toyed with. You strong creatures, you proud people have fallen so far.
they stop, and you see the two members are staring at the one as it covers his ear, or she covers her ears as this is happening, and like keeps looking, and the other one is waving the torch around. They're both the other two that you're not whispering to are having like an aside conversation to each other, like what the hell is wrong with this one. And she looks back, and you can hear kind of very softly and it seems like she is repeating what you said in Goblin to the other two. And they both stop and they stare at this one and looked amongst themselves, and you see the slightly taller one just kind of pats it on the back. It just like starts to chuckle, and the one that you're whispering to just waves her hands and says, "No, and like really starts like pleading with that one, and they have sort of a heated conversation, and then what the torch turns and starts to walk away to lead the other two. Do you whisper anything else, or is that?
Yeah, I'll whisper into. Well, I'll send a message to one or like each of the other two, and just the same thing to both of them. And your strength is in your numbers. Show it.
Okay. I'm not gonna have you roll again because you've rolled 2 natural 20s in a row, and if you roll 3, I'm pretty sure I have to stop running this game. So I think you trap me in the Phantom Zone, and I go flying away. So the you whisper the other two, and immediately they stop and begin to panic too, and the one at the back just kind of like I told you so, and they have like a muffled conversation, and then the three of them very quickly begin to head up the path.
She turns to Samek and just goes, "Thumbs up."
Quiet golf clap.
They turn around and murder you. Just kidding.
Do you say thumbs up?
No, I don't, but...
For the AutoCast.
For the AutoCast, yeah. I'll send a message to Simon of, it seems our crop is flourishing. I think the time is now.
That is good to hear. We will give it a little bit and begin heading down the path.
We'll wait for you. And then we sit.
I think Simon listened. Has Xander been counting out loud the whole time, or is it just
in his head? He needs to concentrate.
Yeah, but I think is gonna give it like 5 minutes, and then would have told Xander like, okay, we're gonna give it a little bit, and then start heading out, and so probably gives it 5 minutes, and then we begin making our way back down the path.
Every 15 seconds, Xander will be like, "It's been a little bit. Can we go now? It's been a little bit. Can we go now? It's been a little bit. Can we go now?"
Mom, are we
Dear
there yet?
Hunter, do you not have patience in the wild?
You didn't see the mystery meat everywhere.
I did. I was looking into the room.
There was more of it. Bleeding like. I'll just try and describe it, but he just doesn't finish a sentence. It's just, the smell, and that was just Samek.
Look at all the bones.
It's just a wee little rabbit.
Are you sure Dorothy did not mess with your mind? I did not see any rabbits in there.
Mess with my mind? Nothing can mess with my mind. I walked in there willingly, and with that, he's gonna start walking down the pathway. It's probably been 5 minutes. Fucking mess with my mind. How dare you, little drunkard over there. Maybe if your mind was clear, you could have been messed with. Muttering to Crow.
Yeah, you begin to stamp down the side. As they're waiting about 5 minutes, after about 2 minutes pass, Zari, you begin to hear some you and Samek, begin to hear some shouting coming from the other side of the path, from like the bugbears, down towards the cave where the bugbears went.
Perhaps that worked better than I thought. Can we get down now?
Yeah, Samek scoops her up in an arm, like hops down the side, stabs a dagger into the mountain, and just starts sliding down.
I am engaged, you know. Or have you know?
Shrug.
As she gets down, don't think you could just manhandle me all the time.
It is the fastest way.
Simon, I believe now is the time.
Or things kicking off.
Yes, it seems that there is some sort of disturbance.
You hear the telltale clanging of metal
Ooh.
from the cave as well.
Do we hear it?
From your distance, no, you don't hear it, but the other two that are closer can.
Yes, now
what's
is the
happening?
time.
What's happening, Simon?
I think revolution.
Revolution?
The bugbears are seizing the means of production.
You motherfucker. That's my
Bug-
joke.
Yes, but I am the one with the accent.
And I'm the one that, and he's the one that said it. So,
Not be slaves again.
so
The barricade.
Yeah, we're
does that
gonna.
mean they're gonna fight?
I believe
Xander's
so.
not the brightest, but
Yes.
well,
Let's get down
weird.
there, see what is happening. Hopefully we do not I imagine we would like to sneak in and not to jump immediately into fray.
Are you yelling that? Because when you said they're ready to fight, is repeat of an hour earlier. Running it.
He's not yelling, but it's definitely above the whisper that they've been at as Simon chases after
Can't hear
down the
you.
hill.
I'm being a hero.
Use
You
this
do-
message to make it right in your ear.
Yeah, Xander, you do run in. You're further away, so you are running straight up to Zari and Samek, who are like in the path waiting for the two of you. You guys just see
Samek-
Xander like charging towards you.
Samek, would you mind stopping that?
I'm being a hero.
Yes, we have-
Samek extends an arm into a clothesline.
Can I try and dodge this? I am just going to stop afterwards, but I just want to not be hit by something. Just to show that he can't
Okay,
stop
we're
me.
gonna see how successful the clothesline is. I think these are competing like athletics and acrobatics checks.
God, the dick measuring is
Yeah.
astounding.
Hello.
Tell Savannah she needs to come back.
Yeah.
Testosterone is just
Too much.
appalling.
23.
23, and then athletics are
19.
19. Okay, so yeah, at the last second, as Samek throws up an arm, Xander, you dodge out of the way, sort of sliding across the gravel on the ground, and then popping back up, avoiding the clothesline.
With an arrow pointed at him. Like, if he tries
Sandy.
this again. Well, I'm just showing that I'm better.
Behave yourself. This is serious. And I know I don't say that very often,
And
but pay attention.
And then Simon comes jogging up too, casually.
I was. Sorry, Simon. I probably should have given you a lift.
I have legs, they work fine. You are not
Yes.
much faster than me.
So, yeah, but I ran. So, time to
Neat.
save the day.
No, we are going in quietly, getting our friend out and making sure the harpy's dead.
Okay. No offense, sister. You are not quiet. It's yeah.
He's
I'll
gonna
look
have a lot of
at Samek
competition with the
and be
bugbears.
like,
What did he say? I'm not what?
quiet.
I
remember you climbing out of that window like an hour ago.
I understand that, brother, but we must try. Yes.
Okay.
Let's just be glad Annalise is not with us. She would be disappointed at all of us for trying to be
Oi.
quiet.
I am stealthy. What?
Oh my.
Samek turns and starts walking towards you.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we stealthy?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sammy said he's just walking in, and like,
We are stealthing.
Walking
Jesus
quietly.
H.
He crouches, and the little eye
Yeah,
reticle
right.
comes
I
up.
go invisible because I have that armor.
Yeah. So everybody make a stealth
Alright.
check.
Oh man, that's with a +9. Rip me.
17.
Let's see. I
I'm
got
just
a
gonna
5.
look at the two at the back.
I'm gonna use my hero point to try and do better on that.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Worth it this
22.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the knight, Simon
Oh
just
my
disappears.
I crouch down. I sink into the floor.
Turn no clip back on. Stop that.
No, it is the power of God. You cannot stop me.
So you Simon disappears. You have no idea where Simon went. The rest of you crouching, being as quiet as you can for the most part. Luckily, you hear the sounds of combat growing within the cave, which makes this even easier as you round the kind of the corner of the main passageway. So you have the main like illuminated passage, and then you have these two side passages. So you come around the main passage, you look inside, and you see bugbears fighting each other, is to put it bluntly. The couple of bugbears that you have charmed are leading a revolution against the proletariat, or the other bugbears that are still under the effects of the harpy, and you just hear this shriek of the harpy's fury come from down further into the cavern. So it doesn't seem like all of the bugbears are fully on board for the revolution, but a majority of them are. And out of from the immediately in the passageway, you look and you see, I think 3 currently fighting against, trying to subdue 2 of them that are backing towards the passageway, kind of trying to keep them from pushing further into where the harpies' chambers are. But they look like they're quickly losing ground. So it looks like it would be fairly easy to sneak past them in this melee if you would like to.
Okay, so those 5 are still in the outer chamber?
They are in this outer chamber near the fire that was on the far side of the wall. You could kind of keep to the shadows, following the same route that Anais did before, to avoid their attention, given how distracted they are.
Now, I might be getting into some nitty-gritty here for a bit. Would we, at this point, still be within 120 feet of the harpy? Or is it far enough away?
120 feet.
Just for the range of a spell.
You are probably within. It's not a direct line of sight, but you're probably within about 120 feet of where she was.
I would like to try and, I don't know if there's a way for me to check this ahead of time, but see if the harpy shrieking is currently trying to do some kind of magical effect. And if so, I would like to dispel it.
Oh, it does. The shriek does not seem like the song that was before. It's not.
Okay.
You're not getting that captivating.
So she's just angry?
She very angry, yes.
Okay, so no need to do that just yet then.
Yeah. Not right now.
I'm really looking forward to getting back and be like, hey, I brought the rest of the group. So
It's it's the community returning with the pizza and everything's on fire.
So the 4 of you go sneak past the bugbears,
Yes.
and you're familiar with where the traps are. You avoid those. They're still marked on the ground, the pits, and the.
I'll finish my name. Santa wants to get some chalk and finish Andy, just to finish his name.
You make it to the passageway. The spear trap has not been reset, and you can hear that. You hear the pained cry of a bugbear and the shriek of the harpy as you head down this hall. Who's leading this procession?
Semic was going first.
Sure.
Okay.
He might hear under his breath as this chaos is going on. Zari might just say, "Oh, Festo, I hope you're proud."
Apart from that, all he'd be hearing is, hurry up. Let me go first if you're going to go so slow. Hurry. Faster.
God help me. I will turn this car around.
So Samek, as you reach the end of this passage where you can see into the harpy's chamber, you get that last sort of shriek of the harpy that almost deafens you for a moment of its the intensity of the sound. And looking inside, you see in the corner Anais is still sort of like sitting there at the base of the harpy's pedestal, their nest, seeming still captivated by the harpy, looking confused and a little worried, but still enthralled by this spell. As in the center of the room, two bugbears lie dead on the ground, blood pooling across the mat of bones that blanket this floor. And standing on top of them and ripping a what looks like the piece of a stalagmite or stalactite that was embedded in the skull of one of these bugbears, rips out like a club. You see the harpy standing on top of the body, and her eyes kind of flicker across the room. I'm going to actually make a check for her to see if she notices any of you as she's wheeling around to see if there are any others coming to attack. Perception. It's wisdom based. Okay. Let's see what you all rolled. Okay. Definitely doesn't see Simon, but the rest of you are. She locks her eyes, those gleaming hawk-like eyes, cutting through the gloom, and locking onto the four of you, and you hear her shriek. Was this your doing?
No. This was not my doing. You wanted me to come back with the rest of my party? Here she is. You said make it quick.
Make a deception
I
check.
have not lied. I said it was not my doing.
Okay,
I specifically said my doing.
We're splitting hairs. We're splitting hairs at this point.
You are trying to deceive her.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
You're okay. There's there's such thing as a live omission. You are trying to get her to think something that is not the truth.
It's the same score, so don't
just
argue
do it.
semantics.
Yeah.
14. That's actually pretty good.
That's not terrible considering you had a 0 modifier. And she flaps her wings once and begins to hover in the air, one taloned hand clutching the sort of haft of this makeshift club, and she says, "You will doom this city and all of us by interfering with this."
Please explain.
Yes, what is it that you are trying to accomplish?
Debating whether she's in the mood for conversation at this point.
Yeah, right.
She is outnumbered.
She shrieks again and soars even higher towards the ceiling. She says, "The spiders meddle in affairs of this ecosystem and the equilibrium of this environment that they do not understand. Their meddling will doom this city. I care not for the people that dwell within it, but I do care for my own interests here. I was hoping that we could make a deal and come to some accord, but I see now that that was folly. So I will deal with you, and then I will deal with this insurrection and return things to how they are supposed to be. And she flaps her wings once more and lets out a terrifying shriek as she plummets down towards the four of you. And we're going to take our break here, and we will pick back up when we come back with the fight against the Harpy leader of the Bugbears, Athena. So we will be back soon. I'm in charge of the stream, so I got to get things set up. So thank you for sticking with us. We will be back in a few minutes. So stay tuned for the conclusion of this session. Be right back, everyone.
14. Oh, a third nat 20. Oh, but not in a row. She failed
Christ.
the stealth check.
What the fuck?
Oh, sorry, stream. I was muted on my end. Whoops. I was not muted in Zoom. We're back. Hi. Thanks for listening.
LB got another nat 20.
And
Jesus.
So
both
did
siblings
I.
got a nat 20 on initiative. I got a dirty 20.
I took out a dirty 20.
I still go first.
Jeez.
Over
All
my
right.
sister.
I'm gonna-
'cause
I got a
I'm
14.
better.
Pulling you guys up here. So yeah, the Harpy Athena is descending upon the group. I need to roll initiative for her and put her on the board.
I don't know if there's anything that I have equipped that would
Tiny
really
harpy.
benefit from stealth.
Oh, see, she's so pretty. Hey, how you doing?
Girl, what that mouth do?
God.
Look at those eyebrows. They're
Yeah.
connected to her hair.
Uh,
yeah.
okay. Please roll. Thank you. Roll 20 for doing that. Okay, so
Do you need to adjust your
descending.
initiative? Oh, not really. You're still above her.
All right.
The 24.
That will put us at the top of the round with Xander going first.
Are we going non-lethal team so we can find out what she meant by thingo? I'm going to be yelling that out as I put my little hunter's mark on her for action 1. I tell Crow to go attack with action 2, and Crow will try and peck her eyes. And that is a 19.
19 misses.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, and then I will do my quick draw, and I will draw my bow and shoot her with action 3.
Okay.
And yeah, would it be too much to say that I quick draw one of my arrows with the rope?
So like having the rope tied onto the arrow preemptively,
I've got
knowing that
two of those attached to my legs in case I fall off the boat.
knowing
remember?
that you were attacking a harpy and trying to grapple her. I'll say yes. I'll say you can have preemptively done that.
Cool. So I'll just use one of the ones attached to my leg, which I keep in case I fall off the boat.
Yeah, that works.
And whoop bam!
Well, bam.
Come on, game. I think my roll 20's lagging a bit.
Yeah, it was kind of struggling for me too.
Oh, can I use my hero point?
Sure,
'Cause that 12's terrible.
that is pretty bad.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 and add 9. See if that's quicker. If it's not, I will refresh. 25.
To hit.
Hit.
That does hit.
We got this, guys. 2 piercing damage.
First
But I'm
blood.
assuming she has an arrow with a rope attached to it stuck in her.
I'll say that, yeah. So you fire the arrow, it goes streaking up and sinks into her left thigh. She lets out a cry of pain. I think it doesn't so much say with the 2 damage, probably gets tangled into this the like leather like wrappings that she is wearing. So it's more like stuck into her clothing than that actually adhered or sticking into her flesh, but it is taut, and you have her sort of grappled there. Where she go, you go. Anything else?
Oh, it is a loose rope, so like I haven't actually. I guess I don't know if I would have if I would have been able to hold it as I shot it, or
You said it's
If it's
tied
just-
to your leg, right?
the arrow was attached to my leg. I store it there.
And the rope. So the rope. I'm
The
assuming the
rope's
rope
just
is
loose.
Oh, it is. Okay, I was assuming it was tied onto you somewhere, so that when you're falling off the ship, it'll catch you.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I just have one other side in case I miss with one.
Yeah. No, I think if we're going by this is the one you have when you're on the ship to keep yourself from
Yep.
falling off. It is tied to you, so
Okay.
you two are tethered together. We'll say you have about like 80 feet of slack on the rope. Sound good?
Yes, guys, just don't let her fly out of here, or else. Oh,
All right. That'll be Zari's turn.
Has Crow moved away from the creature? Or is Crow in combat with it?
Crow's in combat. Are you trying to kill my bird?
No, I'm not trying to kill your bird. That's why I'm asking. Zarine is going to. Do you know how the fear stuff works?
Is it a spell or?
No, yeah. So there's the spell fear, but as you go, depending on what happens with the spell, they are frightened 1, frightened 2.
Oh yeah. Okay, I need to pull up the frightened condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 620 in the core rulebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is going to Zari is going to pull out a vial and uncork it and kind of run her fingers through it and let me just make sure this isn't touch. Okay, it's not. And she's gonna like smear it into the air. It kind of sits there for a second as if she had put it on a canvas, and then the blood goes and attaches itself to the harpy. She needs to make a will saving throw, please.
Will save. Okay. Yeah, I pulled up the frightened, so I get how that works now. So will save is a 20.
Okay.
She succeeds.
So, yeah, she succeeds. So, will's nothing, right? So let me just double check. On a success, the target is frightened 1.
Frightened 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so she will have a -1 status penalty for her next turn. It goes away, so the frightened condition decreases by 1 each time they end their turn or after each round. So perfect. So she'll have a -1 penalty for her for the next round.
And then Zari is going to shift behind everyone else.
Okay.
Question: were you in eyesight of Xander?
I mean, probably I was behind you. You just saw this red smear move into move onto her.
So you were behind me, so I really don't know where it came from. I just saw a red smear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the point where I find out that you're training leads.
I mean, even if you saw it, it was just a vial of red gunk, so... Or do bugbears have red blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you duck behind the group to stay in safety. So it's going to be Athena's turn now. She is mad at all of you, but specifically Xander. So here's what I think she is going to do. She lets out your last words to her. I mean, she also doesn't like Samek that much, but I think you hold a special place in her heart. So she is going to use her one action to fly, and she goes soaring down at you, and with this club is going to take a swing at you. That is gonna be 21 to hit, which I assume hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna see a 20.
20, yeah. For 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm resistant to that. because I'm an idiot.
What? No.
Damn it!
So in
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, sorry,
in
go.
Pathfinder, are attacks checks? I'm just wondering if frightened affects that. As well.
Sorry, it would be a 20 with the
That's my AC.
yeah. So that would still hit.
Damn it! On the little spell thing, it says -2 penalty. Oh wait, that's on saving throws against fear effects and perception.
Yeah. Yeah, Frighten gives her, if it's Frighten 1, she has a -1 penalty. If it's Frighten 2, she'll have -2, and then it goes down to -1, and then 0. So she is, she still hits you for 11 points of damage. And then as she swoops up, I think that shriek transcends and begins to sort of warble and turns into this, I guess, sort of frightening melody that exudes from her, same as before, and the air around you begins to sort of shake. She is going to use her captivating song for her last action.
Are we immune to it because she dropped it on us?
If you have succeeded on the check, you're immune to it. So Simon and Zari are, Samek and Xander are not.
And Crow.
And Crow. So I need the 3 of y'all to make a will save.
22.
Nice.
Do this.
What's a roll for the audience, people at home?
99.
Yeah, it's a 9 already.
It's a
It's a
9.
natural 1, so that's a crit fail. It's a double crit fail. You
And come on, Crow, my man, you got this. Crow gets a nat 20. Can you pass that on to me?
Nope, but I do love the fiction of your bird being so much stronger willed than you. So Crow is fine, but you are not.
I am attached to something that's trying to kill me, and I love it.
So I'll go ahead and say, since we are in combat, the effect of the critical fail, it was just the crit. He was the only one that failed. Everyone else has succeeded now.
This time.
Yeah. Ace has critically failed. We're both drilling in the corner here.
The rest of you are immune to it. Xander, you are now enthralled by the harpy. You move towards her, cannot attack her, and you. Under the normal conditions, if you were attacked by her, you would drop it. Now you have to make another check if you're attacked by her, so it may still persist. So that is the end of her turn, though. Simon, what you got?
I think he's going to, because I imagine, Zari, you ducked back like into the corridor a little bit, or have we emerged out? Because Simon is still hidden at this point. But do I try and save Xander? Or do I do what I can to debilitate the harpy?
It's your call, bud.
I think I'm gonna try and dispel magic on the effect on Xander.
Okay.
So, attempt a counteract check against the target.
Okay.
Which I had this up earlier on the wiki.
Yeah, I was looking. Let's see, counteract. I think that is a like a spell casting check from you, contested by her save DC.
Yeah. So let me. I'm just marking off my spell slots as I do this, but also, so then I guess.
I can't pull up the Roll20 does not want to cooperate with me right now.
Yeah. So I guess, do I roll like a wisdom check plus stuff? Is this essentially a spell attack roll, or?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
Add the relevant skill modifier or other appropriate modifier to your check against the target's DC.
Okay. So
If you're counteracting an affliction, the DC is in the affliction stat block. If it's a spell, use the caster's DC.
so I think whatever your spell casting is wisdom?
Yeah, and then plus my proficiency, I assume.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so then I think this is going to be a +9 roll. I'm not seeing any easy thing for me to click, so I will just
That's fine.
type it out. That is 16.
16?
I assume that fails.
Yeah, that'll fail.
So I'm going to attempt to use my halfling luck, which I can do once a day.
Okay, to reroll.
Yeah, so 120 plus 9 again. That's worse, and I have to use it.
Yeah. Is there a...
So in counteracting, let's see.
Yeah, is there a critical
failure
fail?
counteract the target if its counteract level is lower than your effect's counteract level. If it's a critical failure, you just fail to counteract.
Okay, it is a critical fail.
Well,
So, Xander is still affected by the captivating song.
well,
Don't
I
worry,
tried.
guys.
So then I think I will use my last, because that was 2 actions. I think I will use my last action to. I don't think I can hide, so I will just take cover because I think I'm like right at the edge of the passage.
Okay, yeah, that works. You just duck down behind some rocks that you peeked out from. Perfect. Samek, what you got?
I'm not going to initially rage because this is going to take 2 actions, but he'll draw a bastard sword, 2-handing it, and I'm going to ready my action for when it swoops back in to attack it.
Okay.
Because I imagine it's still flying, so I can't reach it.
Yeah, she's kind of strafing runs coming out. So yeah, you can ready yourself to take a big old swing when she comes down. Great. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Xander, still under the effect of the spell. You could you still have your turn. I don't think you just have to move closer to her. Let's see. Failure, the creature is fascinated and must spend each of its actions to move closer to the harpy as expediently as possible while avoiding obvious dangers. If adjacent to the harpy, it stays still and doesn't act. So, I'm debating whether reeling her in on the rope is going to be enough. I will say you can climb the rope, and we'll just see how that turns out.
Let's try and climb the rope for 3 turns. 3 athletic checks, I'm assuming.
It'll just be 1, I think, unless the climb move has something specific. Let's see.
I have anything that's good for climbing. I have quick jump. Which means I can do a high jump and a long jump with 1 action and without needing to run up.
Okay, so I don't think that's gonna help you here unless you go running up something and then jumping off to get some extra height. But just trying to climb up as expediently as possible. Okay, so you move up, down, or across an inline. Unless it's particularly easy, you must attempt an athletics check. So, yeah, I'd say this isn't particularly easy. So, yeah, we'll just do 1 athletics check for the climbing in its entirety.
Maybe it's just my character sheet is just terrible. It should have, That 1. That's
You're rolling so badly right now.
I'm tempted to go to dice.
Okay, so critical failure, you fall. If you began the climb on stable ground, you fall and land prone. So essentially, you make it like a little bit up, and then you slip down the rope, and then you just poof, land on your back. So you are prone on the ground. I think you can use the remainder of your action to then stand back up and get ready to climb again.
Guess I have to.
Yeah.
Guess I'm standing back up, and Crow's just.
Yeah. Crow's just up there, just like, tell me what to do, buddy. Jeez, that's the most Xandar turn that's happened this game. Zari, what you got?
How far away is she from me?
She is about, I'm gonna say like somewhere between 30 and 40 feet in the air. And you're probably not too far like out from underneath her, maybe like 15 feet. Actually, no, she wouldn't be quite that far up. I think she's 20 feet in the air, and about 15 feet away from you.
Okay. If I told Crow to get out of the way, would he listens to me?
Yeah, so since Crow didn't actually get to do anything on his turn because he's not getting any orders from Xandar, I would say you could. He would listen to you. If Barry, if you think that sounds right in fiction, that he would listen, then I'm down with that.
Get him out of the way of danger.
Yeah.
Oh, he would be away from her because she swooped and flew the other way.
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah, because
Did he get an attack of opportunity?
Does he have that feat?
I don't know. He's a bat.
I think that's a fighter feat.
It's a fighter barbarian feat.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not just guaranteed in this game?
No.
This is
You
bullshit.
can move through crowds. It's fine.
Yeah. So no, unless he multi-classed into fighter or barbarian, I think.
Yeah, he's got the other bastard sword. He's up there.
So yeah, he can. He is out of harm's way.
All right. So she is going to again take that blood from the vial and like smear it on her hands a little bit, like she's putting lotion on, and then she's gonna like put it back. You know, like when you put lotion on your hands and then you have to like close the lotion container and put it back. It's kind of awkward, but she's gonna do that, and then she makes a circle with her hands and says a word in infernal into it, and a sound burst echoes out from it towards this creature.
That's awesome.
So she needs to make a fortitude save, please.
Fort save. Okay. That is not good. That is a 13.
Okie dokie. So let's see. The failure takes full damage, so that's 10 sonic damage, and is deafened for 1 round.
15 sonic damage, isn't it?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said 10.
Oh, sorry. 2d10, 15.
All right, 15 points.
So
Ooh,
the damage
man, that hurts. She is. You said deafened for 1 round.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the harpy lets out a cry of pain, and as this blast of sound, I think it sort of interrupts her song for just a second. She I think she, as she begins to sing the song again, you can see it's just a little bit off key now that she can't hear herself.
Yeah, I think that I think it continues, right?
Let's see.
Oh no, it's not. Okay, never mind.
No. Okay.
Never mind.
All right. That it for you or anything else?
I would like to take a look in the hallway behind us. Are there any bugbears come about?
You glance down the hall. I think you still hear the sounds of combat coming down there. It doesn't look like you don't immediately see any bugbears charging down the hall towards you, yet at least. Awesome. Zari's turn, so that is Athena's turn now. I think she is going to, she comes back around and then comes swooping back down, I think straight towards Zari. I think this will trigger, Sebek, your strike as you are ready for this.
I'm using my hero point.
Okay.
15 does not hit. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Did not go? 13 doesn't hit either.
13 does not. 13 is actually a critical fail, which is just auto misses. I don't think it's going to have has any additional effect here. But yeah, 13 definitely misses. as she comes sweeping by, you just cut downwards, attempting to slice through, and she's moving much faster than you expect. I think you just get the tip of some like tail feathers, and nothing as your sword just crashes into the ground, maybe denting it a little bit. You'll probably have to sharpen that later. She is going to make a strike at Zari. With her talons. That's a 35 to hit.
That's a critical.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a critical.
I'm sorry, what?
That's
yeah, that hits.
35 to hit. Okay, so that's a critical, so that's 34 points of damage.
Oh, look how many I have.
You're still up. You have 4.
Oh, okay,
Ow. Yeah, so
all right.
very angrily swoops in, slashes at you, and leaves these just huge gouges down the side of your neck. I think you're feeling a bit woozy as blood is sort of pouring out the side of your neck. And she is going to use an action to maintain her as she swoops a little bit further away with her remaining movement. Is use an action to maintain her song and her hold on Xander.
Zandy.
I know she didn't hit me, but she hit my sister. Is that enough to make me have a will save throw?
I will give you another.
You almost decapitated my sister. Okay.
I will actually listen to you on that for 2 reasons. I'll give you the will save because of your strong bond with your sister and wanting to protect her. Also because she is deafened, and Zari did the sound burst, which I think very specifically would have interrupted this for a moment, giving you maybe an opportunity to break free of it. So. On the start
Someone should just sound burst me and I'll be dead.
We'll do one at the start of your turn. Sound
Okay.
good? Okay. That is the end of her turn as she kind of swoops back on the other side of the cavern, beating her wings there to prepare for her next volley. Simon, what you got?
Okay, well, fortunately, my battle medicine thing is only 1 action, so I'm assuming I'm more or less next to Zari and can try and patch her up.
Yeah, you can move out of your cover and attempt. I think you've already revealed yourself. What did you do on your last turn? It was
I did detect magic.
Okay, so actually, I would say you're probably not revealed to her yet because you haven't actually targeted her or affected her with a spell. But yeah, doing this, you're gonna reveal yourself to her at this point.
Which is fine because Zari's about to die, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and put some of her blood back in her. So that's I need to do a medicine check against. Normally the DC's 15. I don't know what you want to set it at. But I will click on this battle medicine thing.
Yeah. Considering you're in combat, I'm going to set this. I'm trying to think of a good kind of place to settle on this because I'm sure this is going to keep coming up. I'm just going to set this as the encounter difficulty DC, which for this I have based on your party level. So I'm going to put this at an 18 for your.
Okay. Well, I do have a plus 11 to medicine, so hopefully that's not going to be too bad.
Hot damn.
Hopefully.
That's a 30, so I think that's a crit success.
That is a crit success with a 30.
So you are going to get 48 healing.
Thank you.
And if you had wounded, you are no longer wounded. You get 17 points of health back because there was an 8 in there, but that was 3, 4, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 1 action.
Just slaps a big old holy band-aid on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I can't do that to you again, so try not to die.
Okay.
And then for my other 2 actions, is she within 30 feet of Harpy?
Yeah, because she would have. Yeah, sure.
I think that if you kill us, you are going to eat us. So here, have your food for the day. As I cast Overstuff on her, my focus spell, my holy domain thing. So she needs to make a Fortitude save.
Fortitude save. That's very bad. 12.
So that's just a regular failure. So she has sickened 1.
Okay.
And with sickened, it is that you have to spend an action to attempt a check against the DC to recover. So you don't just automatically reduce sickened.
Okay. Okay, so she has to. What is the effect of sicken though? Like,
So in this case, it says a target sickened by this spell takes a minus 10-foot status penalty to its speed until it's no longer sickened. But I don't know if it also does regular sickened, which is just a status penalty equal to this value.
okay, so status penalty normally, and they have to make a check in order to.
Yeah, I'm
Remove it.
copy pasting the sickened stuff.
Okay. Status penalty DCs. You can spend a single action retching in an attempt to recover. Supposed to immediately attempt Fortitude DC.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, when Simon cast this, she's basically immediately filled up with Natty Light equivalent crappy beer and snack food.
Yeah, those like flaming hot Cheetos and Natty Light do not mix. So yeah, she is I think in the air, and then suddenly just kind of and just like you're just hearing this bad like acid reflux coming from her in between these screeches. Okay, so her speed is reduced by 10, which is big, and -1 to all of her checks. Great. And I think, is that it for you?
Yes, that was all 3 of my actions. So I'm now out in the open next to a very bleeding Zari.
Okay. Samek.
Order of operations, rage is an action, which I confirmed. And then spending 2 to again hold my action for if when she flies over here to attack her.
Okay, gotcha. Xander, you making a climb check for me, buddy?
I'll get a will save first.
You do get a will save. That's right. I forgot that I was giving you that. Thank you for remembering.
Thank you. So close.
Very close.
So close.
Not close.
Does that mean that I'm no longer critical, thingo? I'm just
I'll say sure.
failure?
Yeah, I'll say that sets you a little bit better off. So if she attacks you, you will
Auto succeed.
Yeah.
Like become.
But
I still have to try and get to her.
Captivated creature, if attacked by the harpy, it's freed from captivated until at the end of the harpy's turn. You are not. It does not count as a success. You could still fall prey to it again, if she attacks you.
I guess we're gonna try and reel her in.
Yeah, go for it.
Now, can I, for my first 2 actions, walk towards her and then try and reel her in to the left?
Try to
The
climb.
little bit of rope that's left. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no. Yeah, you move as close to her as you can, and then you start trying to climb up it. That makes the most sense.
Cool.
You wouldn't try to climb up it and then swing towards her. So.
Because it's all just slack on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll run to her and then I'll try and climb the rope.
Okay, action to move, and then action to climb. Okay, go ahead and make your athletics check for climbing.
Athletics check. We got this, friend.
Please
we
roll
got
another
this.
natural one.
I can still speak normally, right?
Yeah.
Like I just can't hurt her.
Yeah.
Can I try and tell everyone to like move away from me, like because my rope? I'm kind of attached. I may be able to like slow her down. I'll be dragged with her.
Yeah, sure. You can say that. So you shout for everyone to move away from you.
Yeah, go away. I hate you.
Okay. And make an athletics check.
22.
22.
Have I pulled her to me?
No. So here is the way this is going to work. So you have pulled in the slack. You begin to climb up, and she is sickened. She is slowed a bit. Now you're weighing her down. I'm going to say her movement speed is halved at this point with between
Yes.
your like burdensome weight on the end of this.
Oh, you're calling me fat?
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
So you are holding on the best you can and providing reducing her movement speed even further. So that's gonna knock her down quite a bit. I am going to have you. I'm just gonna have you roll a d20 to determine whether this rope holds, considering it's kind of
This
tenuous.
rope is quality rope.
The rope is quality. Where it is anchored to is not quality.
And nat 20.
Yeah, it holds.
That's my will save.
yeah, right. Nope, it holds super strong. Actually, with a nat 20, I'll say you don't have to make that again. It's just gonna stay in there. Okay. Xander's turn.
So I'm like a little pendulum ball right now.
Essentially.
Can the harpy be singing I came in like a wrecking ball?
Maybe.
Yes.
Zari, your turn.
Okie dokie. Zari is going to. I'm not very happy about what just happened to me.
I wouldn't imagine so.
She's gonna reach out and attempt to cast harm.
Oh, okay.
Using. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Using two actions.
Okay.
Or I guess I only have to do one because she's down and dead. But so she needs to make a fortitude saving throw, please.
Okay. That is a critical success with a 29.
Okay, so nothing happens to her then. And she Zari is going to kind of take a couple of steps back, like holding her this, like, I'm assuming gashes that are on her body, and kind of like look down at herself and I don't think stabilizing would do anything useful in this, but yeah, I don't really have anything else.
Okay. But you move kind of away.
Yeah, down the hallway a little bit more.
Yeah, to get out of immediate danger, which is good because the hallway's narrow. It's difficult to fly down that, so you don't gather she'll be able to do that easily. Okay, which it is Athena's turn now. She is going to slowly sort of fly in, just retching along the way. I think. No, so she's just slowly moving in to make her attack, dragging Xander along the ground. Samek, you can, as she gets into your reach, make your attack.
15 will hit.
No, unfortunately not. You swing again, and she dodges out of the way just barely. I actually think that she, in retaliation, just out of anger, is going to make an attack against you.
Okay.
With her club as a 25. So it's going to be an 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then Simon, she is going to take a grab at you with her talons with her last action. That is a natural 1 for an 18.
Okay. Does that include the -1 from her being sickened?
Oh, no, it does not. Sorry. That is a 17.
My armor class is still 17, but because it's a nat 1, does that lower it
So I
even
need
more?
to remember, because we talked about this, the natural 1 makes it a critical failure. That makes it a regular failure. So she still fails to hit you.
Okay.
With that. She would have to roll 10 above with a natural 1 to actually negate it and hit you. But still, that yikes. She does miss you though, as she strikes out with her talons.
Why does anything have a plus 16 to hit, or plus 17 to hit, rather?
Pathfinder, yo.
Pathfinder, yo. So because she does not use her song though this turn, Xander, you are free from its effects.
And she did not use an action
She did not.
to try and retch, so
She's still sickened. Simon, it is your turn.
Yep. I'm just debating which spells I want to do here. Okay, I think because she's more or less right in front of me now,
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out and actually, I think for the flavor of this, since she's already under the effects of one of my other spells, it's just gonna like clap loudly in her face as I do chill touch and try, and it's just gonna be like amplified as if she is on a hangover, so she needs to make a fortitude save.
Okay.
She is gonna just take 6 negative damage.
Okay, that's with the -1. That's a 24.
So yeah, that is a regular success. So I don't think any of the other effects happen. Or so, maybe she doesn't take any of the damage then.
Your touch weakens a creature. Living creature spell deals negative damage. Does it?
I don't think this is a spell attack spell.
Yeah, so it doesn't have any success or what's the success or failure conditions? Because I don't see it listed
So if the
there.
target attempts a basic fortitude save, but is also enfeebled 1 for 1 round on a critical failure. So I guess there's only something if she critically fails, because this is just a cantrip.
Okay.
So there's maybe not that much to it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. So she succeeds, so no effect.
Okay.
Okay. But that's just one action, right?
2 actions,
Okay.
and then I am going to. What can I do with 1 action? Let's see. 'Cause I don't think I can message someone, but that's about it. I think I will just try and take cover again behind the stalagmites I'm at.
Okay. You can move towards I think you'd have to use an action to move towards the stalagmites. You won't be able to use the take cover action this round though.
Yeah, so I will move so that I'm more firmly in the hallway.
Okay.
So that if she comes after us, we'll hopefully have an angry Samek on the other side of her.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of which, Samek, you got a big old pinata right in front of you.
Pinata. I'm gonna move in front of her so she can't get to the rest of the party.
Okay.
But she's taking 2 bastard sword swings.
Do it.
First attack. Natural 20.
Oh, baby. Okay. Yep.
34.
Oof. That one hurts. Okay. 34.
Second attack.
And this is with the negative bonus or the negative attack. I can't speak. The second multi-attack penalty.
The second attack will be at
Yeah.
the multi-attack penalty. Another natural 20.
What does that bring it to with the penalty? Or is that with the penalty already?
22, I believe.
Yeah, 22.
Okay. So 22 would miss.
Which
Hold on.
means,
Actually, let me
just
check. Yeah, 22 would miss. So
with it being a crit, it
with-
bumps it up.
it's-
it'll
still
be
makes it a hit.
it'll be a regular hit, not a natural.
I maxed out on it, so she takes 18. So
Fuck me. She
Yeah,
took.
should've-
She actually.
that's a
she-
crit.
I wanted to be honest with it though. Is that she actually ends up taking more damage due to roll 20's stupid
weird ass algorithm.
algorithms, because we made the commitment that that's the way we're gonna do this. So yep. Fuck.
Is she still up?
She's still up. Yeah.
A third attack is -10, correct?
So you used your first action to move.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
one action to move in front of him,
Yeah.
and then two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3.
Yeah. So that's 3. But yeah, it would be -10 for the third one, which if you rolled another natural 20, I just don't know what I would do. You need to step away from that. So yeah, Samek just stands up, just flames on the side of your face.
Could I get a word in?
Yeah, go for it.
I warned you. You're gonna burn to ash.
And as you strike twice, the flames licking off the edge of the sword, I think it's like singes some of the feathers as well on her wings, and this bloated harpy in front of you lets out a muted or kind of murbled shriek, and she is looking very bad right now from those 2 strikes. She's already cauterized like cuts across her chest. Ow. Xander, you've been sort of dragged along the ground, and you come to, and you are standing not too far, actually, like right behind where the harpy is.
Well, seeing that, I also want to reinstate cleaved in 2. We told her multiple times.
Yeah, and she's regretting it.
And because I want to continue using my rope, can I just like try and run around in circles and tie her up so she can't do anything? Because I want to know what she meant by the ecosystem.
Okay, so you're gonna like Looney Tunes this, like running in circles around her to wind her up like a tether ball, essentially.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go for a grapple, but it's more I want her bound.
Yeah.
I don't care about gagging her because half my party's immune to her right now, so I just will have to stand next to her and watch her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess grapple is appropriate.
I'm assuming, unless you're just going to let me tie her up because
nope,
she's
not gonna let you.
dead.
Yeah, not gonna let
Oh,
you.
it's the least you could do.
So what is that? Athletics versus acrobatics?
I think it's
Roll 20's not working for me, so I can't do my.
Let's see.
There we go. Athletics, grapple, 1 action, load. Come on. Okay. Attempt an athletics check against their fortitude DC. That's what it is.
Okay. And well, bam. That's a 12. Did that succeed?
It did not succeed.
Was it just a normal failure? Did anything?
It's a regular failure. Luckily, it's her fortitude is not her best ability. So yeah, with a.
So I can try again.
I guess with a regular, yeah, because it was 1 action to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna say you could try one more time because you are moving as part of this. So 1 action to move,
Okay.
action to grapple. You can try one more time, and we'll.
22. Does that work?
Yeah, that'll work. So with
You
the,
sound so defeated.
I
We're
do.
trying not to.
No, it's good. You move. So with a grapple, all my stuff just disappeared. What's the effect on a regular?
I think I just have hold of her.
Okay.
I think it needs to be like a critical success for like an actual restraint.
Well, if this is grabbed, you're held in place by another creature, giving you the flat-footed and immobilized conditions.
Yeah. So she was flat-footed, immobilized until the end of your next turn, unless you maintain it.
And then whispering in her ear again. Two. Just give up.
Flat-footed.
Surrender.
Okay. That is Xander's turn. And what a turn it was, as you have ran around her a bunch of times, and now she is sort of bound up, tangled up in this rope. She has her like hands free, but her wings are bound around her, and she is so she won't be flying anywhere. Zari.
Hi. Is anybody within 10 feet of her, or like is anyone right next to her?
I would.
Two of us are like hugging her. pretty
Yeah,
much.
Xander is definitely right next to her because he is tied to the end of this rope that is tied around. So he is like just like right up in her face.
Okie dokie.
And Simek is there too.
Yeah, Simic is there too. A lot of my stuff is area stuff, so
It's a little damage between friends.
We're pretty tanky. I don't even know you can do magic, so I'm just going to blame Simon.
I don't want to hurt anybody, but I do. Let me just double check this because it's a 10-foot burst, but is that directly in front of me? Is that what burst means?
Does anyone know? So I don't have to spend this time
Yeah.
googling because I don't know the spell descriptions. I think burst is like a.
Oh.
Like
Hold
a-
on.
Send her on a point and then radiates out. where it's
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
Okay,
From a
so
single
could I
corner
angle
of a
it so that it?
square,
Oh, sorry.
Burst effect issues forth in all directions from a single corner of a square within the range of the effect.
Okay.
So
So it sort of from a
Yeah.
point.
Could I angle it in a way where it only hits her?
I think with the way this is set up right now, you will have to hit either Semic or Xander. I think because they are on opposite sides and very
Yeah,
close, I think you'll have to hit one or the other of them. And she is not like an especially large creature. Nope, she's
I
medium.
mean,
What?
we're in trouble. 'Cause I have a grab, so I don't know if that.
I'm in danger. Plus, you haven't saved out of this thing yet, so maybe being deafened would be good for you.
Mayhaps.
Maybe we could try
brother.
talking.
I'm going to cast that, and I am going to. So she's basically just gonna like wipe the blood that is her own off her body.
Yeah.
Again, do the thing with her hands. Say that. Whisper the word in Infernal. Those are dice, and cast it. And then she's also going to. So she needs to make a Fortitude save.
Okay.
And then
And
I'm
who are
going.
you hitting out of us two?
I'm hitting Xander.
Okay.
Sorry.
So fortitude save from Xander as well.
Yeah. She is going to use her blood magic to heighten it.
Okay.
Yes.
I
you
succeeded.
did succeed. So
Half damage.
for an extra 7 damage on top of the 10, or on top of the 5.
Okay.
That sucks.
So what's the total damage there?
12.
12. She
And
fails with a 14.
okay, so she is deafened for 1 round. She takes that damage, and I'm going to use my blood magic to post that to give her a -1 status penalty to AC.
Okay.
I don't like that. So as this heightened spell is used, her eyes to whomever is probably just Simon standing next to her, and actually probably Xander probably sees this too because he's looking at her and she's casting the spell. Her eyes glaze red for a second as she expands the spell, and then they go back and you see just like a little bit of like blood coming down, but there's all blood all over her anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, what's a little more?
If it wasn't super cheesy, I would say you have your patron in the back of your mind doing the Darth Sidious, good, use your anger.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Okay, perfect. So she takes that blast of sound energy, which also rocks through Xander. I think you are sort of is sort of muffled a bit, Xander, because you are sort of interposed between the two, and as this blast goes off, you feel a little bit of that ringing as you see your sister casting this spell, and she is now deafened on death's door and furious. And I think she.
I have another action.
Oh fuck
yes.
yeah, you do. Yep.
Okay. I don't know. Can I stab her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a dagger that I can do that with. So, where's that stuff? Hold on.
It should be underneath your class DC.
Yeah, front page on the left side.
If you inputted like
Class
melee
CC,
strikes.
Okay. Oh, I did. Okay. Boom. Does a 7 hit her?
No, thankfully, for me. No. Yeah, you stab out with the dagger and attempt to strike her, but I think she is just I think just wildly, now that she's deafened, just slashing out with her talons in all directions, and yeah, she does. That does not hit her. She kind of slaps her hand out of the way.
Okay.
Ow. Okay, so it is her turn now, because I forget how much you guys can do in this system. She is... Oof. Yeah, I guess she is going to just slash out with her talons, like I said, in all directions. And she's got 3 juicy targets within melee now. I think she's going to make 3 attacks. So I think, Xander, you're the one that's currently holding her in place. I think she's going to attack you first.
That's cool. Xander's not really paying attention at her right now because his sister's eyes just turned red. She started crying blood, and she just did magic. And he's a bit.
Well, it's a natural 1 for another 17, so that misses.
Yeah, my AC is 20, so that's a critical failure.
Yeah.
So get down on the ground, you stupid bird. I'll have to have a chat with my sister.
For her second strike against Samek, because you just wrecked her. That's another natural 1. I have rolled 3 natural 1s in a row on her attacks.
I
In
think
comes
Roll
the nat
20's
20.
having some issues tonight.
In comes the nat 20 on Zari.
Random number generator, my ass.
Right.
The third attack is going to be against Zari. This is going to be the natural 20. It's not a natural 20. It is a 34. Minus 10 to a 24.
That still hits.
Is it? What's your AC?
11.
So it's still a critical. Well, it would be another. So it'd be 13, because I forgot that she also has another natural, a -1 on that. Still a critical hit though. So that's 34 points of slashing damage again to Zari.
Yeah, sorry, goes down.
Yeah. And Zari collapses as this third attack slashes her as you sort of feebly attempt to strike out with your dagger, not being very trained in the art of stabbing people who realize they're being stabbed, and getting slashed once again by the harpy, and collapses to the ground in a puddle of her own blood. That is the harpy's turn. Simon.
Well, I'm gonna use 2 actions to cast Stabilize on Zari, kind of muttering under his breath of, "Foolish girl, using blood magic when you've already lost so much blood, we are going to have to talk, you and I." So, you lose the dying condition, but you're still unconscious at 0 hit points. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do, really, because everything I have is like 2 actions. Because Stabilize is a range of 30 feet, and I don't think I'm within touch range of Zari to do any more healing.
You could move. You'd have to move up to her.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have any more
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah.
Well, dang. I think that's just it for me.
Okay.
I will move up to the mouth of the passageway now, but I'm still not going out into the open.
Okay. Samek, it is your turn.
Second verse, same as the first.
Go for it.
22. She's flat-footed, -1.
She is flat-footed. So yeah, that definitely. Well, actually, let me double check. So flat-footed, -1, puts her at a 21. So yeah, that'll hit.
For 14 damage.
So non-lethal or lethal?
No one said that.
No one said that. I'm in a rage.
Okay.
I
that's what
said that
figured.
at the start. I asked everyone.
Hey, it's Samek's choice. I mean, it's
Yeah, I know. I'm just correcting everyone saying nobody said that.
She's dead.
she's dead. You do so well describing these kills. I'd hate to take that away from you.
Oh, it's almost unceremonious. He puts the blade to the back of her neck, raises a foot, and just stomps.
Ow. So she's bound, you kind of force her to the ground, and then as she's about to let out another shriek, you just stomp down on the blade, and there is a crunch, followed by the multiple crunching of the layer of bones underneath, equally sort of cut by the blade, and the head just kind of rolls and nestles amongst the this layer or this carpet of bones.
He's going to look up to Simon and point to Zari.
Yes, you two gather around, and is going to move over to Zari and is going to start focusing on heal, doing it at a 3-action thing so that it's all living creatures within 30 feet. So you all are going to get, yes, favorite song. Everyone gets, oh, that was almost max healing, 17 heaps back.
Nice.
And I guess you and I are going to have a conversation about what blood is for and how you use it. But right now we need to get out of cave with angry bugbears.
Did we kill it?
Xander's just gonna walk straight over to Anais because that's not my sister. That's some demonic blood demon I'm gonna kill later.
You see Anais she was sitting in the corner for a long time just with that sort of stupefied expression, clearly under some sort of effects or more kind of concentrated effects of the harpy's magic. And she shakes her head and looks up at you kind of confused. Says, "Is it gone?"
Yeah, it's dead.
Right.
We gotta sneak out of here.
Right.
There's a civil war happening.
Civil. I'm not even going to ask.
Bugbear violence.
I don't even really care.
I'm completely against it. There's like a whole movement going on. Sneaky time.
Did we kill it?
Zari wakes up, it like blood pooling. You just feel this like dampness across your shirt and your rest of your clothing as the blood has soaked through, and a bit lightheaded as you sit up.
Samek slips a hand into the harpy's mouth and just grips it by the lower jaw and just hefts it up.
Oh, good job. Oh. Did you have to destroy her brain?
Her brain's fine. She's decapitated.
Gross. I thought you stomped in her head. My bad.
No, I put the blade to the back of her neck and then stomped on the blade.
Oh.
Guillotine.
How-
Revolution.
Zara's gonna stand up and get a vial, get some of her blood, before it, not my blood, the harpy's blood, kind of pop it, put it in her pack, and well, shall we?
Yes, let's get out of here so I can tend to your wounds further and then go let the spiders know the deed is done.
Thank you.
All right.
Harpy mentioned a clutch.
Mm-hmm.
She has eggs in here somewhere.
I'll ask Crow to have a little look-see for some dinner.
Crow goes a kind of circling around the room up to the nest where you saw the harpy perching at previously, and there are 2 eggs in the nest.
How high up is it?
Not too far, like 15 feet up.
Climbing we go. Oh wait, how big are the eggs?
How big are the eggs?
Yeah.
About the size of like a human baby. Like,
Could Crow try and like push one off and catch it?
yeah.
Climb up there. Just climb up there.
I probably should cut the rope so I'm not just walking around with a dead harpy body dragging behind me.
Or you could unwind the rope.
Everything Xander does is the most extreme way to do anything. I'm not gonna just untangle it. I'm just gonna sever it.
Your wounds are all better. You should not be suffering from blood loss.
You're not hardcore. I should live hardcore.
Just gonna
Fine,
throw
I'll
babies
untangle
around.
it,
Okay.
and I'll climb up there.
Okay. And you retrieve the 2 harpy eggs.
And I'll ask, are we doing genocide or are we...
Samek's gonna shake his head.
Okay, so the ghost just decapitated something which I had found. Okay, well then I will pocket the eggs. It's a pouch. I don't know. I will try and use my coat. I'm trying to make a little basket so I can climb down without
Yes.
crushing an egg.
You take a.
I don't mean like put it in my pocket and my pocket's just bulging out now. Like, what's in that? Nothing.
You take
It's just my wallet.
your like if you have an overcoat or like a shirt or something like that, and use it to create sort of like a little sort of what's the word I'm looking
Papoose.
for? Papoose. Like to put the egg.
I will make a pouch like a kangaroo because I'm Australian.
Okay. And climb down on your back to keep it from the eggs from smashing against the rock. You get down and the eggs are intact.
Look who has breakfast.
Probably take those back to the ship. I do not want to take the eggs anywhere near the spiders. But I also do not know what we do with harpy eggs.
Perhaps someone will want to purchase them. I don't know. They could
Maybe
be.
we could train them to be nice, friendly people.
Is a possibility. Either way, I say
Xander,
don't bring them.
I'm now a father.
you are not ready for this responsibility, brother. We've spoken of this.
I'm not your brother. Just cold heart, and I'm just ignoring Zari.
Did I do something?
Think
To
he saw-
Simon.
I think he saw you cast magic. Saw your eyes go.
So? He grew up in a house with his Does he not understand that this is what our family does? Oh my
Probably
god,
not.
does he not understand that this is what our family does? Zara
guess
just starts
not.
staring up.
We leave.
Yeah, we leave.
Yeah.
You guys go creeping out of the cave, and the sounds of the combat have subsided. You do kind of creep back around. I'm not going to do more checks for the sake of wrapping this up in the next 4 minutes. As you head out the passageway and towards the mouth of the cave, you just see this fire out front that the bugbears who have been victorious have built, and there's just one bugbear with a sheet of of cloth that has been stained red with blood, just waving it back and forth at the mouth of the cave in victory.
Wait, were they mine? Were they the ones that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
influenced? Yay!
Samek just raises the harpy head over his head as he walks past them.
And they all like cheer and just begin to chant in their goblin language, and they are free. And we're just gonna end the session there because I can't think of a better note to end it on, as you have liberated the bugbears from their the tyrannical rule of the aristocracy.
The air AIR.
Yeah,
harpies.
yeah, like Aarakocra, but birds. Fantastic, good session, everyone. That's what we're gonna call it. I'm gonna put on some music. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this, our 4th installment of the Pursuit of the Black Kestrel. This was a weird one. We will be back in 2 weeks. Which will put us on the 14th? 8th. I can't count.
Wait, no. Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
I am not going to be here that day.
On the 8th. We may have to do some deviating anyway, because I also remembered that that's the weekend that Savannah and I are traveling to Jacksonville, so we'll see. So we will we will let you know when our next session is going to be, because our schedule may shift slightly. So we will be back at some point in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Join our Discord and follow us on Twitter, and you get all sorts of updates on what's happening and our streams that are coming up. Check out our schedule below. It's below our faces if you're watching on Twitch right now. If you're watching the VOD, or if you're watching on YouTube, head over to our Twitch channel, and it's below, and you can see all the fun streams that we do throughout the weeks. Lots of D&D and Monster of the Week and Tales from the Loop and anything like that. If you're interested in it, come watch. Anything else before we go?
Y'all are lovely.
Nobody said fucking nobles.
Fucking nobles. It was.
Yeah, we made an episode and
Well,
they even did noble shit.
It was this episode about a bunch of bugbears overthrowing their. I mean, it was sort of just. We're just going to entitle this episode "Fucking Nobles." Viva la Revolution. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you soon, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good afternoon.